Shalom. So today we look at First John chapter 3 and verse 4. It says, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. Now how does this work? Okay. So here you have the spirit. Here you have the flesh. Right? The flesh, the subconscious mind, plus the body. Hold on, this marker is not writing too well. Alright, so this is how it works. The spirit, the consciousness inside of you, it wants to align itself with the spirit of the Bible, the word, right? Now, there's this that makes war with the spirit, right? So, for example, I'm just going to use a simple thing. This is not a like a biblical law, but I'm just going to use something that we can all relate to. Say, for example, with your health, you know that vegetable is good for you, right? So in your spirit, you want vegetable. But because you have a habit of eating some hot wings, right? So this is what happens. This is what your spirit needs, but the tendencies, the habits of eating these spicy hot wings, now you have to choose. You're gonna choose the hot wings, even when somewhere inside of you know and understand that what you really want is some vegetables, right? So this is how the transgression really works. It's a betraying, right? It is when you betray this part of you, right? So this is not really a law in the Bible, but you can use it to relate to other things, just like the Bible says, thou shalt not do this. The spirit does not want to do that, but because of this, the habits of the human nature that is subjected to things that are pleasing to us, they're called the desires, right? So once this stands in the way, it's going to make war with this, and this is why sometimes we cannot find rest or peace, because the mind is always active, right? So as soon as we get what we want, the mind becomes quiet for a while, but after you don't eat the hot wings, knowing that what you should have ate is a vegetable, guess what? Now you feel bad, you feel guilty. Why? Conscience. So the wisdom of the law gives us a conscience to choose, and when we do not make that proper choice, guess what? We get that feeling of guilt, because we know that we should have done this, but we followed our desires and we chose otherwise, right? Now, what usually happens after this? This is what happens. We're gonna jump to Deuteronomy chapter 28, and let's first jump to verse 15. We're just going to jump to verse 15. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right? So now let's jump around to verse. I'm just going to go straight to 61. You can read from 59 to 61, but I'm just going to start at 61. It says, also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. So guess what? High blood pressure is not in this book. And you can see in the black communities, a lot of black people who are vegetarians and vegans, they still have high blood pressure. They're not eating a lot of meats, but they still have it, right? We have a lot of diabetes and so forth, right? Now, this is what we don't understand about transgression when we go against the spirit. There are other spirits out there. So we have to know which one we are feeding. This is Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 7. It says, if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. We will deal with this door at different time. It says, and unto thee, unto you, Cain, shall be his desire. Who is the his? That's the adversary. So whatever he wants to do with you, that's what he's going to do. So you did not eat the vegetables, you wanted hot wings. Guess what? Now you're going to get all these types of plagues in your flesh. These are actual spirits. These are actual spirits that they are dwelling in us, in our flesh, in different parts of us, depending on what plague we have, right? So this is why when they were doing healing back in these days, what is the one thing that they always say after you are cleansed, are healed? Sin no more. All of these diseases and plagues and whatever we call them is because the root of it is sin. So in order to get rid of all these diseases in our bodies, we go to the root, which is the sin. Sin no more. But they're not going to tell us that. When you go to your doctor or whoever, your pastors, they're not going to tell you, no, stop sinning. So they can keep you coming back. So this is how it works, and this is the understanding of it.